Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, and in tonight's video we're going to be finishing up our playthrough of Final Fantasy II. Let's head straight into the Jade Passage, which is right here to the east of Mysidia. So yeah, this is pretty exciting. We're going to be ending the game, and very soon, shortly-ish, we're going to be starting a new playthrough on Final Fantasy III. So I'm sure everybody's going to be very excited about that. I know Final Fantasy II is not everybody's favorite one. Okay, not a lot of people like this one. But I think that it kind of lays the foundation for some cool stuff that we see later on, like way later on, and well, maybe not even that much later on, but I know like Final Fantasy XI has the skill up process and stuff like that. Weapon skills. I know this game doesn't have weapon skills, but it kind of sets the basis. We see some cool mechanics like blunt, piercing, and slashing being a thing in this game with the weapons and stuff like that. Oh, a diamond maze. That's kind of cool. But yeah, we see a lot of cool things. I kind of like the open-ended way of being able to do things. You know, you don't necessarily have... Maybe some people like the jobs or prefer them. Maybe deep down I do too, but it doesn't mean that I don't appreciate what's here in this game and what we work with. Being able to kind of level up your magic however you want, or equip your characters with whatever the heck you feel like equipping them, kind of lets you choose your own jobs in a way, or in a sense. And that's kind of cool. Also, it had a pretty nice storyline, albeit it was very reminiscent of maybe like Star Wars a little bit. But hey, a lot of Final Fantasies are reminiscent of Star Wars. I have it on good authority that Mr. Sakaguchi is a very big fan of Star Wars, and that's why we see a lot of elements from Star Wars reflected in Final Fantasy games, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool to me. I do have encounters off. I could turn them on if you guys want to see a couple battles. Some great Marlboros. Leon. We do have Leon on our team now. Let's talk about Leon for a minute. So Leon was with us at the very beginning of the game. We got rock and rolled by some of the Emperor's soldiers and pretty much left for dead in a forest, where Princess Hilda found us and had her white mage Minwu bring us back from the brink of death. However, they apparently never found Minwu. Or not Minwu, what am I talking about? They never found Leon, okay? They never found him. He was missing. And then all of a sudden he becomes this Dark Knight and starts working for the Emperor and stuff like that. Now, we know from earlier in the game, when we go to... What town is it, you guys? Help me, I'm drawing a blank. Bafsk? Anyway, we learned that the Dark Knight... I believe that the storyline and the lore tells us that the Dark Knight himself is kind of like indoctrinating the villagers and making them work as slaves to complete the Dreadnought quickly. I can't remember if it was the Dark Knight himself or the Emperor, but I want to say it was the Dark Knight himself. So even though, okay, we have this like indoctrination, this like mind control kind of an aspect, if you will, playing a part in things. Nice ice bow there. I don't think one time in the game is it suggested that Leon might possibly be under the effect of... Wow. Well, he's dead now, so let's not even talk about him. Not one time do they talk about him being under the effect of this indoctrination. Not one time does anybody say, hey, maybe the Emperor is controlling his mind. Even at the end, when we finally are getting him on our team, let's see if I can remember everything that he talks about. Because he talks about how Maria is weak and this and that, but he craves the power. And I think what ended up happening, if I could create a theory here, what ended up happening to him is that when we got defeated by the Emperor's soldiers in the beginning of the game, that was like a turning point for Leon. And I think he thought to himself, like, how the heck am I going to defend myself? And maybe he even thought that Maria had died. Right? That would kind of be a big explanation as to why he turned out the way that he did. I mean, if he thought his sister had died and he failed her and he wasn't strong enough to stop anything from actually happening to her, of course, like, that makes a lot of sense. You know, he wanted power so that he could protect her. And I can't remember exactly how he words it, but I believe he does say something along the lines of how she's weak. He calls her weak. I wish I could have maybe I should make a little clip or something and add it in, but whatever, I might not do that. Anyway, so he maybe this is what happens, okay, right? He thinks his sister dies, gets destroyed by the Emperor, and he decides, screw that, they're so powerful, I'm going to join them, because I'm not going to let this happen to anybody ever again. Right? Or maybe he doesn't even care about that at that point. His sister's dead. His whole family got murdered by the Emperor. Maybe he has nothing left to even live for at this point, and all he wants is power at this point, just mindless power. Almost like, sorry to go back to Star Wars, you guys, but I'm going to do it. Almost like Darth Vader. Right? He just wants that power at this point. He doesn't even really care about the Emperor. He just is loyal to him. He's just loyal to the Emperor for the power. There goes all my potions. So anyway, you know, maybe at some point in the storyline he sees Maria, but doesn't like want his cover to be blown, and he's, you know, he kind of keeps his cool, like, oh wow, she's alive, you know. But anyway, I wanted to kind of point out too that even when we bring him before Princess Hilda and we're like, hey, you know, this is the Dark Knight, and we know he's evil and all that stuff, but he really wants to fight the Emperor. Not one time are they like, hey, you know, let's offer an explanation, right? He was under mind control, he was being controlled, that's why his actions are the way that they are, please cut him some slack. Nobody tries to explain anything like that. They just say, oh, well, he's good now, he's gonna fight against the Emperor. You know what I mean? And yeah, he wanted the Empire all to himself. He wanted to be the Emperor. But that didn't really work out. I mean, there is no Emperor anymore because we killed him. The entire Palamecian castle is gone. Who knows what the loyalty is of the rest of the Imperial soldiers at this point. What does he really have? You know what I mean? He has nothing left, really. I mean, at least before the Emperor revealed himself to be like this Lord of Hell, at least he still had Castle Palamecia. Or at least some of his soldiers could maybe live. Anyway, the point is the point that I'm trying to make is that he was never under any sort of mind control. He was very, in fact, evil. But almost in a sympathetic way, where you kind of feel bad for him, and like, you kind of understand him a little bit, you know? Like, he lost everything. He lost everything, and he didn't want to be weak like that anymore. He wanted to be the one that was feared. You know, if you think about, like I said too, if you think about like his backstory and his village getting ransacked by the Empire, his parents probably getting murdered right in front of his eyes. Like, he's been through some pretty traumatic stuff. So to watch his sister supposedly die, I mean, maybe they even did die, and Minwu was able to somehow bring us back to life. Minwu is a very powerful mage. I didn't realize the music until just now. These are kind of like bosses. Ooh, Ultima leveled up. Not that it matters. It doesn't really do that much damage. I did get a dragon shield and also some cat claws. Now, the interesting thing about cat claws is you would think that they are like punching, like fists, but we don't do that in this game. We don't have like gloves for punching. We're not Tifa, okay? We just have our bare hands. So cat claws are actually daggers. They're actually knives. And it says that they're particularly effective against spellcasters. I believe these are one of the final weapons of the game. We also got a dragon shield, even though we don't shield in this particular playthrough. That would be very good. For anybody who is using shields, congratulations. That is a sick shield. Let's check out the rest of these rooms here. Anyway, that's I think that's all I have to say about Leon. He really doesn't have anything left to do at this point but join us. His dreams of becoming the Empire, or becoming the Emperor, excuse me, and kind of taking control of the world is kind of gone, or it's not going to be there anyway. I mean, the Lord of Hell, the Emperor, the Lord of Hell, has, what is this, poison water? I mean, he pretty much has declared that he's going to destroy the world. There's not going to be anything left for him to rule, and he realizes that this is his fight now. No matter what his beliefs are, no matter what happened in the past, this is his path. Oh my golly. I feel like this is going to be a tough fight, but I don't know. Anyway, so my Leon he's not as strong as the rest of my party members, and that's fine. He's gonna be dual wielding axes, as you guys have probably surmised and put together. He's dual wielding 2 poison axes right now, and the little bit of HP damage does happen. Poison is a thing. Oh, okay, this thing hits a little hard, but not as hard as some other enemies. I think there's some regular enemies that have been hitting me harder than that, actually. Maria is really good for casting, like, Berserk on Guy. And that thing's dead. Honestly, Furion would probably do more damage if he just swung his swords at this point. Like I said, maybe one day I'll do a playthrough where I actually do make the most ultimate magic ever. We got a rune axe. We're going to put that directly on Leon. Leon is our final party member. Nobody else is going to join us at this point of the game. It's going to be Leon, and that's it. So I wanted to see the description of that rune axe really quick. The strongest of axes. Effective against spellcasters, and it casts fog when used in battle, which I still don't know what that spell does. Does it blind? I don't know. You guys tell me. Let me know in the comments below what the heck fog is. The strongest of all axes. So we're getting the most powerful weapons that we could possibly get. This is important, as a matter of fact, for later on when I play later on Final Fantasies, when we get a little bit further in our Final Fantasy adventures, that we are going to hell. We are currently in hell, or some form of hell, right? And we are finding the most powerful weapons in the game here. I want to say we do this again in... Oh, that's a good question. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure we find these weapons again in some form of hell. More on that. More on that when we get there. So now we have this freak who's like hiding in the water, and it won't let me walk forward at this point right here. It's like an invisible wall almost. So you kind of have to go behind the waterfall to talk to him. And he's actually a shop, believe it or not. He'll sell us a Tomb of Flare and some other useful things as well. Scroll of Berserk. No, we don't really need anything from him, but an interesting character. We have 3 doors. Let's try door number 1. It's going to lead to Absolute Jack. Door number 2 is going to lead to Jack Diddly Doodah. And door number 3 is going to lead to a staircase leading further down into the bowels. So here we are in this area. We're going to get a betrayal thing from that treasure chest. What does that do? I have no idea. I think it's like it casts confusion or something like that. Let's head into this door. Okay, there's a staircase heading down. Don't go down yet. Let's check out the rest of the rooms. We're going to check out this room right here. Nope, nothing. We're going to come up here to check this door. Treasure. We got some dragon armor. A holy lance. Holy cow. And the Aegis shield. The dragon armor is resistant to elemental attacks. I'm going to put that on... I don't know. Should I put that on Guy? I'm going to put it on Guy. I'm going to put that on Guy, and then unfortunately nobody's really going to be using this lance, which is a bummer, because it actually does cast holy when used in battle. It is a lance that is effective against dragons. Congratulations to anybody who chose lances, because you're going to be kicking some fat major butt right now. We have another boss dragon in a treasure box. I'm just trying to level up Ultima as high as possible at this point. Maybe I could get it to level 10. I don't know. Flare, I think I can get to level 10 for sure. This thing isn't really taking much damage, is it? Ultima 9. Flare 9. Okay, it is taking some damage from Maria, that's for sure. My DPS, like my melee, if you will, aren't really doing very good against this thing. This flare should wipe it out, though. There we go. Okay, what crazy piece of gear are you going to give me, sir? Another Holy Lance? Was I just really lucky to get that? The Yoichi bow? Yoichi bow? I think it's pronounced Yoichi. And that is the legendary bow of unparalleled power, cast berserk when used in battle. The best bow in the game. Congrats to bow users. Screw you if you're using swords, because Furion doesn't get to have anything special, I guess. Not that his swords are bad. Not that his swords are bad, but I think there's like... I want to say the Excalibur is in here, right? Which we crafted that in Final Fantasy 1, didn't we? Let's keep going. We've got a lot of treasure box. Well, a couple more treasure boxes on this floor anyway. Let's go ahead and scoop those up. High potion, garbage. Protect ring, okay. And that is a ring that guards against instant death. I've been waiting my whole life for this ring. You know, some of my previous videos state that I'm getting all the treasure boxes, but honestly, I'm kind of scratching my head wondering, did I really get all the treasure boxes? I'm pretty sure there should have been another protect ring at some point in this game. What's nice about the protect ring is that it has absolutely zero magic interference, which is in stark contrast to anything else that you put on in the game. So this kind of goes perfect with Maria. Brings her magic defense up to 99%, brings her defense up a whole heck of a lot. Absolutely nothing wrong with putting that on her. Let's check in this door and see what else we got. Nothing. Keep going. What do we got here? Elixir. Those are always welcome. I think I got like 9 or 10 of those by now. Let's head into this door. And we got another staircase bringing us even further down. Okay, and we're going to go to this teleporter right here. Where's this teleporter going to bring us? This is the castle of hell. Pandaemonium. So we made it. It's almost like Castle Palamecia itself in here, except evil. And it also, strangely enough, seems to be made out of crystals. Some of these doorways are false, like this one right here. You don't actually get to go inside of it. That one is false. The music is on hits, too. You guys should turn that up if you can. I know it's hard to hear anything with me jabber-jawing over everything, but that's how I run my videos. I don't like you guys to get bored with just me walking around and not talking. I don't want you guys to miss the sultry sound of my voice as I play. Should I turn encounters on so you guys can see some of the bad guys that are in here? We have Lamias and Lamia Queens. Nothing we haven't really seen before. Maybe there's still a chance that I can level my spells up just a little bit more on them. Yes. Yes. Blow them up. Blow them away. Oh my gosh, we just got another protect ring, guys. Let's see, power omelet. Did I say omelet? Yeah, whatever. I think she's the only one I really want this on. Does it cast protect? No. That'd be fun if it did. Well, what in the world? Why wouldn't I just put this on him? He is going to lose 10 agility. See the 10 agility right there from the Thieves' Gloves? But everything else is kind of like almost needed, right? He's really going to want to put that on. Let's put that on him. Hey, you know what I just thought of? And like, what a doy kind of a moment. Doy. Da, da, da. But his magic interference from these swords is a 100 alone. So I'm wondering if magic interference doesn't really have anything to do with your spellcasting time. You know, because I was thinking that it would help you act first in battle if you had really low magic interference, and Maria and Furion seem to go, like, see how she pops that off first? That's the first thing that happens is her flare. But maybe that's the reason why her spells hit so hard, is because magic interference actually can affect the damage of your spells as well. Those guys hit harder than anything I've faced in this whole game. Jeez. Well, they are mithril. They are made out of mithril. Mithril golems. Okay. Yeah, these guys are not easy to take down. Physical attacks seem to be ineffective. Wildly ineffective. We really just want to bust an Ultima at this guy. You know what I'm kind of reminded of going through this dungeon? Not that I'm going to try to make any connections at all here. Just kind of reminded of is it almost reminds me of Sky from Final Fantasy XI. It's particularly, oh gosh, what are the places called in Sky when you go inside to go fight all the NMs? I can't remember, but there's like those big like crystal golem guys inside. I remember because that's the very first time I hit level 75 in that game. Was on those crystal guys, and for some reason those mithril golems reminded me of that moment, the moment I hit level 75 for the first time. Anyway, okay, let's keep going. Let's keep chilling. We're chilling through this dungeon. We're just chill. We're not, you know what? We're not scared or anything like that. We're not. I got plenty of elixirs. I could pretty much like use a full tent on my guys right now. Tent. You know what I mean? It's like an inn. I can fully restore my HP and MP. Whoa! Okay. When that kind of stuff starts happening, when that sort of stuff starts going on, it's definitely time to take this a little bit more seriously. I almost want to say forget the Mithril Golem for now. Let's just hit these Death Riders as hard as we can. What do you say, Leon? Brother-sister combo on this dude in the back here. Please die, please die. Okay, good. Ow! You guys are hitting freakishly hard. Take down that Death Rider in the back, you two. Give it the old 1-2. There you go. Start landing some crits, Leon. There we go. Okay, now we're in a little bit better shape, but not really. Get Leon back up here. So this is why you do want to... okay, no, we're good, we're good. Life leveled up. Leon's axe skill leveled up. Some other things went up. Not bad. Those guys give a lot of gil too, and I don't think there's any more shops from this point on. Although we did find that weird mage who was selling his spells from behind that waterfall. What would be the lore on that? That appears to be a Mysidian mage deep within the Jade Passage, which only opens up right now, pretty much. What the heck is he doing in there? Who is that man? See, some things you walk past and you don't even question, but maybe we should. Maybe we should be asking ourselves, hey, what the heck is going on here? I'm going to turn encounters off for a minute so you guys don't have to see me die. You guys don't want to see me die, right? You guys care about me. Got an ether from that treasure box. Let's keep heading down and around. What else do we got? Nothing. Just another teleporter. Let's hit it up. That's going to bring us to the 3rd floor. I don't know what these weird things are next to us here. They seem to be moving. The map here is interesting, isn't it? I don't see many treasure boxes. Like this area to the left of me, what the heck is that for? There's an elixir there. No monsters popping out to eat me. No monsters popping out to eat my face from that way. Another dead end. Ooh, sorry, it's not a dead end at all. It's a hidden wall. But what about up there? Is there anything else up there? Yeah, there is. A waste of time. Haha. Yeah, don't come up there. Don't even worry about it. What you guys want to do is you want to come down here and head into this teleporter right there. Now we're on Pandaemonium 4th floor. We got a lot of things to talk about here. So there's a couple doors here. So you know me, I'm going to take it from left to right. Wow. Wowzer. I don't want to miss out on any treasure boxes. That's my #1 thing right now. Oh, look at that hidden wall right there. Another hidden wall right there. Another freak in a box. Look at this dude. What? Sick! They turned him into a zombie and stuffed his dead body in that box. We meet again, old foe. We meet again. Captain Borgin, wasn't he Captain Borgin or Commander Borgin? I think he was Captain Borgin. Okay, he doesn't seem very scary. I mean, he kind of does because he's a zombie, but other than that, he's going to die pretty quickly, so not too bad. What kind of treasures does this guy have? Let's see. Okay, that's enough of that. We know what that is. If you've ever played Final Fantasy VI, you'll know exactly what this is and why I'm making a dorky laugh. Gloves boasting the finest defense that guard against mental status ailments such as sleep. If there is a man worthy of wielding such an awesome item, it's probably going to be Leon, as a matter of fact. But yeah, let's put it on Leon. Let's just do it. Leon can have those. Okay, and that's why I don't want to pass up any treasure boxes, because oh my gosh, do you really want to know what it's like to miss out on a piece of gear like that? No, I don't think you do. I think you definitely want to pick that up. There's just some weird pillar in the middle of this room. So I think that's everything that we can do in that first door. Let's head back now and head through the next door, the second door. Okay, I went all the way back and came back through the second door. Let's see if that leads us to, yes it does, this treasure box right here, which is also monsters. That's fine. Oh my, oh. Now this is pretty interesting, wouldn't you guys say? Tiamat, as we know, is the Fiend of Wind from Final Fantasy I. We meet him also 2,000 years in the past when you go into Final Fantasy I and you go 2,000 years in the past using the power of the Dark Crystal. Well, wait, it's actually the power of the loot, really, right? The loot somehow manipulates the Dark Crystal, but the power of the fiends feeding the crystal's energy into the Dark Crystal combined with the loot. Anyway, whatever. That's a time loop. I'm going to make a video on the time loop. But here we go again, seeing our old friend and foe, Tiamat. He's a friend foe. He's my frenemy. Very nice to see you again. I can't help but be a little bit scared. You're mean. You're big and mean. Anyway, the Fiend of Wind. This is also a, if my lore is correct, which I believe it to be, this is a Warrior of Darkness that we're fighting right now. Wow, Guy does nothing. Even with haste, he just does no damage. So we're not going to really rely too much on physical attacks, even though that's all these two can really do. Guy and Leon are just physical attackers. But Flare actually does pretty good. It's not like they do 0 damage, right? They just do very low damage. Thunderbolt 16. Whoa, wow. Why do you want to do that to me? It doesn't hurt that bad, but still. Maybe it would hurt even less if I was smart and casted Shell, even though my Shell's like level 2. I could, excuse me, I could still do it. Pretty sure that stacks with wall. That poison damage is actually adding up over time, that's for sure. Let's see if we can do any real damage to this thing. Wow, so even crits, he's just not really doing that much damage. I just think Tiamat doesn't really take much damage from blunt. But he took enough damage, or she? I guess it's a girl, right? She took enough damage. She took enough. She's done. She's tapping out. Shell leveled up to level 3. That's cute. Couple stat bonuses there. And we're going to get the Genji helm. Wow. We can also put that piece of gear... Well, let's give that to our dude here. Let's give that to Guy. There's a method to my madness, okay? This is a playthrough on how to play Final Fantasy II correctly. So if you're putting your gear on your guys just like how I am, then you're doing it the right way. I think that's it for this whole area. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. The second door that I went through kind of took me all the way over here to the right-hand side. So we're going to go ahead now and go through the third door, which is this door right here. And we come upon this kind of different looking area. I think what we want to do, actually, taking a good hard long look at the map, I think we want to come to this side and pick up this. What the hell? I don't know how to explain this, you guys. This is Beelzebub. This is the Beelzebub. No mercy, men. Take this freak out of here. Flare 16. It's really teaching me how to use that spell. Once again, we're fighting an enemy that doesn't really take a lot of damage from physical attacks. And that's fine, because we do still have some magic attacks. And the damage of that kind of stuff does add up. Also, I think he's poisoned. You'll never kill him with that. Good luck. I've tried to kill him with that. It doesn't work. His HP is just much too high. Yeah, we'll just keep kind of doing the same thing here. Eventually he'll drop, I'm sure. He'll drop before I do, right? There we go. See, what did I tell you? We can fast forward him dying, though. We don't need to wait around for that. Furion's agility, Maria's intellect. Got another black robe. And some Genji armor. That's pretty sweet. I think I'm going to put Genji armor on Guy. And then Leon will just take over the dragon armor like that. That's not too bad. And then I've got another black robe in case you have more than one mage using black magic. You'll want to have that, because I already have one. So... Can I come through this wall? No. So let's head back now then. Let's head back through that third door. This one. And we'll make our way through. Probably more monsters. Kind of seems to be the theme with the treasure boxes in this place. What the hell is that thing? Astaroth. So we fought Beelzebub, we're fighting Astaroth. These are the names of actual demons, right? Like, we are in hell. We've got to fight our way through here. once again, it looks like physical attacks aren't really going to be very effective on bosses. He's casting some big fire magic against me. He seems kind of almost weak to poison. I think he takes more damage from poison than the other bosses were. Any other monsters were. His fires are not very nice, sir. However, you're no match for me. You're no match for my Fists of Fury. You're gonna blind my Black Mage? Okay. I don't need to see you. I just need to be able to speak my spells. Kudos to this guy, though. He's really hanging in there for not really having anything all that powerful. He really just hung on. He took my onslaught and kept on coming. So we're gonna get some Spirit for Furion. That's really good. A ribbon. That's what we want to see, guys. That's what we want to see. A ribbon that guards against elemental attacks and status effects. And what does the gold hairpin do? Yeah, it's resistant to lightning. So even though you see my stats kind of slightly drip and drop down a little bit, it's not that bad. A ribbon is definitely the way to go, guys. I probably could have even put it here where this twist headband is. Looking at this twist headband, I think to myself, why is Guy not wearing this? Why is Guy not wearing this? Have you guys noticed that this whole time and didn't say anything to me? Because I feel like that should have been something that somebody could have put that in the comments, like, hey, you idiot, why don't you have your twist headband on Guy? And I would have said, oh, good job, you're right. I should definitely have that on him. Okay, let's keep going. We're going to head down now. I guess that's it. We're going to head down to this next portal. We're now going to be on this side. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Isn't it Final Fantasy? Wait a minute. You guys, isn't it Final Fantasy 4? I think we're more like on the moon or something like that, but we go through an area that's very, very similar looking to this. And slowly but surely we kind of come across all these like crazy weapons. Some of the exact same weapons that we're finding now, as a matter of fact. Let's see, I should have high potions. Yes, I do. Let's utilize some of those to top us off. And it looks like we're just going on a big roundabout here. Let's open up this treasure box. It's going to be Sage's Wisdom. What does that do exactly? Well, it's a stone that maximizes your intellect. I guess you can only use it during battle, though, so that tells me that it's probably temporary and wears off, but might be something to look into when we're fighting the final boss. When we're fighting the final jerk of the game. Do you guys want to see me do some more battles or not? Do you guys feel like I'm cheating? I mean, I kind of am, but it's not like I'm doing like a skill playthrough. I mean, I guess I kind of am. I don't know. Maybe it's just a bad habit, okay? Maybe let me know in the comments below if you guys think I should just stop doing that. I just didn't want to have to pause my video every single time I got into combat, but I guess it's not so bad. Some devil wolves. Some enemies that we've never seen before anyway. And we just kind of rip them apart just like that. They're not too bad. I think I just seen Furion's Spirit go up a little bit higher. What other enemies can we come across? These are the Beast Demons, I think, are brand new enemies as well. I don't think we've seen those. Kill the Devil's Lettuce. We'll move right onto these Beast Demons. And Thunder 10, hey, not too bad. It doesn't really do damage to me, but that's fine. Okay, that's how you take care of those guys. Now we're on the 8th floor. It looks like there's 2 treasure chests here, one in the northwest and one in the southeast corner. We're going to be going against some more dragons here. See, when it comes to this kind of stuff, just stick to Ultima. Because Fearon's never going to cut through those scales. We can't even punch through the scales. Alright, very cool. Very big win. I wonder if it's going to be just dragon time. Dragon City from here on out. We're just going to fight dragons and really mean things. Yeah, it looks that way. Looks like I might have hit the nail on the head there. Let's go ahead and kill this dragon too. I can just skip the battles though for you guys. You don't have to watch it. Okay, got this treasure chest here. I got the one down there too, but I can't remember if I recorded that. My bad if I did not. Nothing special in these. This one was an acid file. And then we have this. Oh, I turned encounters back off. I'm a cheater, I'm sorry. You caught me red-handed. Alright, let's do our battle. I was supposed to get in one right there, fair and square. See, nothing new. Nothing that we can't handle. Well, actually, no. These corals are the ones that were in that hidden door, right? So these corals were the ones that killed me that one time. Let's definitely not play around when it comes to them. They have like death touch or something like that, so they can one-shot you. Punch that Lamia Queen's face in for not quite enough damage. That was enough damage. And there we go. These guys didn't even have a chance to act or anything. Got a Diamond Cuirass. Let's head into the portal. Okay, and this is going to bring us to the 9th floor. It's definitely cheating to check your map in this area. Where are we wanting to go? I don't know. Is it cheating? Okay, bottom left corner of the map is where we want to go. Yeah, that is a little bit cheating. A round worm. This is the same worm that we find inside Leviathan's body. Wrap that up real quick. Get some gil. Get on our way. There we go. Pandaemonium, 10th floor. This is exactly where we want to be. This is the end of the game, guys. You know where it looks like we are? Is the Void. In Final Fantasy V, we get to learn of a place called the Void. And it's basically a zone where, like, all the final bosses of the game, not final bosses, but all the big bosses of the game like to hang out. Coincidentally, when you cast the spell Banish or X Zone, that's where you're taking the enemies to. And that's why they die instantly. Not just because they went to another dimension, but because they went to a dimension full of horrible monsters. Which is exactly what this place reminds me of. Very crystally too. Keep that in mind. Maybe that's something. Maybe it's crystally for a reason. I mean, we don't really see the crystals in this game, right? We do for a minute, but they kind of give us a little bit of power. They don't really change our jobs because they're kind of faded. And I also don't think there's much lore or much about them. There's not much to really say about them. Yeah, they kind of give us a little bit of stat increases. One gives us strength, one gives us like vitality or something like that. One gives us spirit, one gives us stamina, that's what I meant to say. So we get kind of like a bonus on all of our main stats there. And here we are. We made it. We made it to the man himself. The man, the myth, the legend. The Emperor. Let's see what he has to say for himself. You have braved the bowels of hell to reach me. He's probably pretty surprised. He's probably pretty... I mean, if you were in his shoes, wouldn't you be kind of shocked to see that these just mere humans, and not just humans, but like teenagers, right? That's pretty much what we are. We're teenagers. Brave the depths of hell to come and fight him and to stop him. I'd imagine he'd be like, oh my gosh, you guys are really, really persistent. But at the same time, you know, it's either that or we lose our world to the shadows of hell, so we kind of had no choice. But the hand of man, which deals in false justice and forsaken love, can never hope to defeat the Lord Master of Hell. And here we go. The final boss. He also kind of reminds me a little bit of the Cloud of Darkness from Final Fantasy III, but that's another story for another time, and I think it has completely different and separate lore. One thing that this guy does definitely remind me of is, and I've mentioned this before, I think in my most previous video, as a matter of fact, but he kind of reminds me of one of the Ascians from Final Fantasy XIV. If you will, one of the beings of great immense power. They tend to kind of change form like this, or take on other forms when they're cornered. I couldn't help his cool. I couldn't help but notice his cool headwear. He seems to have Tiamat coming out of his head, or at least snakes of some kind. Anyway, enough of that. Let me show you guys how we're gonna beat this guy. We are going to start by probably casting... Well, let's cast Wall. Maria is going to cast Flare exclusively and almost nothing else. Actually, she's probably going to cast Haste on Guy. See if we can get him some more attacks. Wall, in case we get hit by anything mean, spell-wise. 13 punches to the face. Okay, he doesn't care what buffs you use. He's just going to dispel all of that anyway. I don't know. Guy doesn't look very dispelled to me. Does he to you guys? Looks like our wall and everything is still up. Hey man, maybe you need to level up your dispel, because it didn't really seem to help you out very much. I'm going to have her cast Berserk on Guy. See if that can maybe up his damage output just a little bit. Okay, not too bad. Let's keep throwing the spells. Let's just let the good times roll here. Ultima Flare. Not really doing too much damage, but, you know, if you add it up every single turn, it's getting there. It's getting there. I think I want to heal Leon a little bit, so I'm going to stop auto-attacking for a second. Comes another big dispel. Yeah, it even says at the top of the screen, no effect, no effect, no effect. I don't know why that would be, but hey, if it has no effect, it has no effect. I don't know what to tell you, Mr. Emperor Man. Maybe you shouldn't suck. Sucks to suck. Oh, that sucks, Leon. Big whiffer there. He's casting a big flare on my face. I'm going to return the favor. Oh, you know what? I should use one of the Sage's Wisdoms to maximize Maria's intelligence and see if that helps her damage at all. Okay. It's you Ultima, you Flare, you Face Punch, and you can use Summon the Wyvern against this guy. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. What am I looking for? This right here. A stone that maximizes intellect. Let's give it a try. Meh. It's kind of anticlimactic. That really hurt, and you healed yourself. We don't like that. There we go. I actually kind of prefer him to cast spells against me like that, just because his drains on his attacks are really on hits. Big flare, big cure, big slow. That's okay if you slow me, it's okay. Let's get back together with some of these spells here. Oh wow, I don't want to take this. No! Alright, that wasn't as bad as previously indicated. I thought we would be really hurting from that. Maybe wall really helps out, or maybe I'm just over leveled for this guy. I don't know. He's not really putting up much of a fight. Although I don't feel like I am either. Maybe I'm doing more damage than I think I am, but it doesn't seem like I'm doing that much. If he stopped casting spells and just did his drain attack, he might even wipe me out with that. Ultima 9. Flare 9. It's starting to hit for over 1,000. That's not bad. You're slowing down on my mages, which is fine with me. I don't care about that. That I kind of care about. I'll have Leon kind of heal himself since he's not really much use for anything else. I mean, if you wanted to invest in him, that's fine. You just get him so late in the game that it's like, why bother? Can he be a great character? Sure, but it's Final Fantasy II. All the characters are the whatever you make them to be, so I don't think he would be greater than any of my other guys. I think that's it. I think that's it. That's it, everybody. That's all, folks. That's the final boss. You're watching him die. I think there's one more part to this. I can't remember, though. Unbelievable. Defeated by insects like you. Not once, but twice. Who are you? That was pretty good, actually. Maybe I should practice that. Wow. It's done. Now let's get out of here. Let's get the hell out of here. Am I right? Slide in a little joke for you guys there. It's finally over, isn't it? It was a long struggle, but with the Emperor gone, we've nothing left to fear. Thank you. With all my heart, I thank you. With the combined strength of Kashwan and Finn, we will build the kingdom anew. Together, Princess, we will create a kingdom even fairer than the old. It looks like he's talking to Maria. When I'm pretty sure he's talking to Hilda, but... Though once a coward, I now stand here a new man. I have all of you to thank for that. You have my deepest gratitude. I'm sure Scott is smiling down on me from above. You let him die, man. How could you say that? Look at you. Do you realize what you've done? Who am I supposed to steal from with the Empire gone? You put me out of a job. I guess I'll just have to start stealing from you. Better watch your backs. Paul, I appreciate you so much, Paul, that I would give you anything that you asked for. I would make you a sandwich, sir. I have a lot of respect for Paul. I'll say this is probably the third or fourth time I've said this, but I really wish that Paul joined our party at some point in this game. That man deserves a handshake. You sure showed him, Furion. You're every bit the bloke I pegged you for. If you ever feel like trying your hand at flipping Krabby Patties and... no, I'm just kidding. I can't think of any other pirate voice other than Mr. Krabs. What? That not sit well with ye, Maria? Ha ha! Looks like your next battle has already begun, Furion. Is that kind of a little hint that those two end up together, Furion and Maria? I wouldn't be upset for that. I feel like they probably should end up together. You did it! I'm sure my dad's happy for you too, up there above the clouds. I'm going to be working here, serving the princess. I just want to do whatever I can to help out. Joseph? That was actually really creepy. We must now dedicate ourselves to the task of restoring what was lost. Farewell. Words cannot express my gratitude to you all. Me either. War finally over. He's not happy about that, actually. He's just really angry. I just imagine him just being a ball of just pure anger. Just crushing things with his fists throughout the whole game. Except for the end of the game where everything just doesn't care. We can live in peace together. Wait, what am I reading? We can all live in peace again. Together. Right, Leon? Leon's like, I hate you guys. There can be no going back. Not for all of us. But why? Don't go. Furion, stop him! Maria, Leon is right. We've been through too much. I can't stop him. Not now. Leon! We will meet again. He doesn't even care. He just walks out of here. See what I mean? He was under no mind control. Okay, that's creepy that ghosts are just appearing before us like that, but alright. Well, we should be going too. This is only the beginning. What do you mean this is only the beginning? I thought this is the end of the game. Here we are back at the Jade Passage. Their long struggle was finally at an end. The Emperor, Pandaemonium, the monsters plaguing the world, all had vanished without a trace. Peace had returned once more. The wounds of the war would mend, and the memory of those bitter days would... I didn't get the last word. I'm just going to add fade. They would fade. I didn't read it. I didn't read fast enough. But one thing would never be forgotten. That a band of young heroes once saved the world. That's it, you guys. We did it. Final Fantasy II Pixel Remaster. We did it. We did it. So what can we say? What can we talk about here? What do you guys think? What are your guys' thoughts on Leon? I talked about him an awful lot during the beginning of this particular video, and there towards the end we see him basically just say, you know what, I can't be with you guys, peace, and he just leaves. I honestly don't think that there was any sort of mind control going on at all. I think that he was just absolutely devastated at losing everything that he lost. I think he really thought his sister was dead and gone, and I think he just was at a point where he was like, you know what, screw it, dude. I don't want to be on the run for the rest of my life. I don't want to see people that I love and care about just get killed. You know what I mean? I would rather just be the one doing the killing since there's nothing left. I think he just hit a point of rock bottom, a point of just absolute hopelessness. And his only decision, his only choice at that point was to just join the Empire. And so he did. He joined the Empire, he trained, he got very powerful, and he took command. He didn't just join the Empire as just a little common little baby Imperial soldier, okay? He wasn't just a little stormtrooper. He made it to the Dark Knight. He was Darth Vader. So, cool. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you guys think of that. Do you guys think that maybe he was under some kind of mind control? I don't know. What else can we talk about? What about Kane? Now, of course, as far as Kane goes, we don't actually see the adult version of him until later on, until we start playing Final Fantasy IV. And Final Fantasy IV has so many things in common with this game that it's hard to say that they're not connected in some way, shape, or form. A lot might pass it off as just Easter eggs or coincidences. I believe that's, as a matter of fact, exactly what it says if you Google this stuff. Hey, is this the same Kane? Is Kane from Final Fantasy II the same Kane from Final Fantasy IV? A lot of this stuff, if you try to look it up, it'll just say that it's Easter eggs or coincidences. But I really think that there's more to it. Not only is there Kane in this game, we have Mysidia, the whole village, or not just village, but it's a village, of mages, but a whole, country of mages. I guess it's still just a village even in Final Fantasy IV, but still, they have their magic ways and they have their magic secrets, and it all kind of seems very reminiscent of each other. I almost want to say... No, I was going to say there's a Jade passage in Final Fantasy IV also, but I think it's called like the Serpent passage or something like that, actually, and it's not very important anyway. When I do play Final Fantasy IV, I'll see what we have to offer as far as connections to Final Fantasy II, and I'll definitely be making a video about that. I really like how the lore, just kind of like a side note here away from the story of Final Fantasy II for a second, I really like how the lore videos on my channel have been doing. Not that we're getting like hundreds upon hundreds of views or anything like that, but it is a lot of views in comparison to my other videos, and I think that's what you guys are going to be mostly interested in. And as we continue through these games and start playing Final Fantasy 3 and 4 and 5 and stuff like that, a lot more is going to be revealed. I've been playing these games all my life, pretty much. For many, many, many years, and although I've had different game systems come out and a lot of different games that I've been getting into, every once in a while I go right back to this same series, and that's what made me want to do this to begin with, is because Final Fantasy, honest to golly, doesn't really matter which one I play, this really is my favorite game. I'm never really done playing these. I think I could even start a brand new game on Final Fantasy II again, start this very same game again right now from the beginning and absolutely enjoy playing it. I don't know what it is about it. I've been fascinated by these games ever since the time that I was a child, and I don't think that's ever really going to change. And the more and more I play these games, the more and more connections that I see and that I just want to talk about. Do I have answers for every little thing? Are there mysteries? Of course there are. I'm really excited to do a kind of like an explanation video of Final Fantasy 1. And am I able to answer everything in Final Fantasy 1? No, I can't. But I have a lot of good theories. I can explain most of it, and I'm going to attempt to do that in a future video, so we can kind of get some kind of an explanation as to what is really going on in Final Fantasy 1. Just kind of do a deep dive of that game, the crystals, what role they play, their priorities when they make Warriors of Light, when they make Warriors of Darkness. We have this whole balance between light and darkness. We have this whole time loop thing. We have this mysterious character Garland that we have to explain, this mysterious character Chaos that we have to explain. A lot of cool things in Final Fantasy 1, and I'm going to be talking about them all in an upcoming video and explaining them to the best of my knowledge and ability. I might do the same thing with Final Fantasy 2, but I think I'm going to probably do... I have something else in mind for Final Fantasy 2, and that'll probably be coming a little bit later on. So at that note, I think I'm done talking. Let's see if we can just kind of skip the credits here. Save completed game data? Yeah, why not? I'm going to probably save it right here. It's going to give me a nice little star. Got a couple of other games that I've had at one point or another. They all have stars because I've beaten this game so many times. I love this game. Looks like, yeah, no, I've 2025, 2023, 2026. Yeah, I play this game. Anyway, we're gonna head back to the title screen, and I don't think there's much else to really talk about here. Oh, that's creepy, huh? They even did artwork of some of those like demons that we find, Beelzebub and Astaroth. That's kind of cool that they thought so much about these two characters at the end of the game that yeah, who is it? I don't want to say the wrong thing and get lynched here, so I'm not going to talk about any names. I don't want to have to be destroyed in my own comment section. But Yoshitaka Amano, I want to say. Is it Amano? He does all the... Okay, yeah. His name is right there on the title screen. But yeah, he did such a good job on these. Anyway, maybe we'll talk about these in another video or something. I'm just going to wrap it up, and we'll begin our playthrough of Final Fantasy III shortly-ish. Like I said, I got some other lore videos. Lore videos seem to be what you guys are most after, so I think I'm going to be focusing on some of those for a little bit. I'm going to be doing a couple of those, and they definitely require more work than me just sitting down and playing. They require thought. They require some video editing, which I'm relatively new to, but I'm going to do my best to give you guys some pretty cool stuff to see here in the future, and then we will begin Final Fantasy III. At what point, I'm not 100% sure. But we'll get there. Final Fantasy III, by the way, is a super fun game. It's nice to be able to go back to... as much as I do like and appreciate Final Fantasy II, I really just like the OG original formula of having jobs, being able to change your job. You know, this person's a black mage, this person's a white mage, and they go right back into that with Final Fantasy III, and they do it in a very masterful way. Final Fantasy III is a masterpiece of a game. So look forward to that. If you liked my video, please let me know by hitting the like button. And if you don't mind, I would really appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel as well. You don't want to miss out on any future content. And we'll see you guys all again in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.